John was a giving, caring, loving, wonderful husband, father. He would do anything to help anyone. We had a good 3 weeks short of 48 years together. And he was a wonderful man, a community servant. He loved athletics. He was the most wonderful grandfather ever. He had 5 beautiful grandchildren, and the youngest one was 4, and still misses him right now bad, and still talks about him. He was a son. His mother's still living. She's 99. He was an uncle. He was a brother, a cousin, a dad. Our kids really miss him a lot. As I was going about my evening, he kissed me goodbye, and I said, "I'll see you soon," which was what we always said, "I'll see you soon." And I didn't. And I was watching television, and that's how I found out about him. And no one ever came from the police department. No one ever came to tell me. I saw a blurb go across the bottom of the screen that a bicyclist had been hit at Dale and Weber Street. He had blunt force trauma to his brain and spent 6 days in the trauma unit at Memorial. The hardest thing for me was having to make the decision because there was no brain activity. And I still live with that choice. But a wonderful man was taken from his family. My daughter, being in news and media, had met Mr. McDivitt, Mike McDivitt, I believe, at several events and was extremely impressed with him. And at the hospital, we were in just a state of not knowing what to do. And she just said, "Mom, we're going with McDivitt." And so she set it up and she called them.
Well, we wanted to take this awful burden off their shoulders so that they could heal. This is a tragic accident that nobody wanted to go through. Not only was this particular case tragic because Carol and her family lost a very important loved one, a very important and caring man in their life, but also because they were trying to blame him for this accident. We didn't believe that, and we don't agree with that. So we had to do everything we could to make sure that the true facts of the accident came to light. Based on our investigation and evidence, we clearly felt the death was the result of the other driver's negligence. And nobody was going to help us. The police weren't going to help us. And the other driver certainly wasn't going to help us. So we had to do this in order to help Carol and the family and make sure that they received justice and truth.
I would be in a big mess. I would be lost. I didn't realize the details and the legalities behind a traffic accident and resulting in death. And without Joe's help at McDivitt Law Firm, I know I couldn't have handled this at all. The relationship with Joe was just outstanding. He was very compassionate. He understood the tenderness that I was going through. Sorry. And he told me that it was up to me to grieve and for him to handle the difficult situations. And he did. And no matter when I called, I always got a return call from Joe. Joe came to my house, sat on my couch, just took care of me. He was at my dining room table. I felt so personally and professionally attached to Joe that I think I would highly recommend this man.
Inevitably, you care about your clients, and especially in these tragic accidents, we're here to help. And I'll never experience what her and her family has gone through, but I do everything I can to understand them and tell their story.
There was never a time that we were ever neglected or ever disrespected or disregarded. They were always available, even if we called 10 times a day. I saw a lot of integrity on the part of my attorney. They did an outstanding job for our family. I highly recommend McDivitt.